Hey, it's Paul. Welcome back to B&B Talk. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button for me. Thank you so much. I want to jump right into today's episode now. At Forster, we see Caroline, and she welcomes Maya back. Maya also welcomes her back, after her accident. And after they exchange pleasantries, they sort of get into it. Caroline explains about the accident, and then she tells her that, Ridge helped her to start walking. But then Caroline chastises Maya for keeping, obviously, her big secret about being transgender from Rick for so long. And Maya agrees that she shouldn't have kept that secret for long, but she said she tried to do what she thought was best for Rick and the company by quitting and staying away from Rick so that, he could make this decision about his personal life and the business. But Maya tells Caroline, you can go ahead and give me your best. Call me all the names that you want. Call me Myron, Myrna, or whatever. And she says, take your best shot. Go ahead. And then the tone kind of changes. And then Caroline turns around and tells Maya she thinks she was a hypocrite. She said, you know what? Your cover-up was way more intense than anything you accused me of. But Maya turns around and says she'd grown up a boy, and it's not who she was. And Rick only knew me as who I was, the fact that she felt she was a woman. So she didn't feel like she was hiding another side to it, because deep in her heart she felt that she was a woman. So Caroline ends up saying, well, I've moved on from that. I'm happy with Ridge. And then Caroline turns around and stuns Maya by telling her that she thinks she's a beautiful and courageous woman. Now, at this point, the waterworks break out. Caroline says, I know what you're going through. To an extent, I grew up with two moms. I was teased a lot. They both sort of share the heartache that they went through. Caroline says she can't imagine what life was like for Maya growing up and having to deal with what she, had to deal with. And after that, Caroline admits that she was bitter because Maya made a big deal out of a few kisses between her and Ridge. But Maya reminds Caroline that the relationship with Ridge might have started out innocently, but it definitely developed into more after that. And then Caroline says, I think you're a hypocrite. She said that Maya's cover-up was way more intense, but it's all over. And in the end, here's what happens. Caroline says she's moved on. She's much happier with Ridge, and she wanted Rick to find a woman that made him happy. She says, and he found that in you. And she says, I understand. I grew up with two moms. I understand the teasing at school, all the things I went through. I can't imagine how you could have gone through the things you went through. And at this point, both women are very tearful. They sort of swap these stories and they start hugging, and you see them sort of burying the hatchet and having it come together. So it's really great to see this. Now we go to the rooftop of Forster and we see Zende, and he admits to Nicole that he was adopted. He actually tells her the story of what happened. He tells her that both of his parents died of AIDS, and that Kristen and Tony were on vacation or on their honeymoon, and they saw him through a friend that took them to an orphanage, and they fell in love with him, and they couldn't stop thinking about him. They went away back home and then came back and surprised him and adopted him and brought him to the States, and he has been raised in Miami. Now, he does tell her that in addition to both his real parents having AIDS, that he found out that Tony has the condition as well, and so, but Zendaya doesn't have it. Then we see in one of the other offices, we see Ali and Ivy discussing the marriage ceremony, but Ivy tells her that the marriage should be annulled because of what happened, and in fact that Liam has feelings for Steffi. And oh my God, Ali turns around and says Liam would not choose Taylor's slutty daughter over you. So now we see that switch go off in Ali again, and she's out for blood. She said she's always using her body to get what she wants, and Ali was sure that Liam would do the right thing. Ali encourages her not to give up and to hand Liam over to Steffi. She's going on again like she's got personal stake in this. And then we see Liam and Steffi. They meet in Steffi's office, and Liam asks her, because she's kind of making jokes about it, not to joke about the marriage. And he tells her that he cared about Ivy. Now, Steffi said that she says that she understands, but she reminds Liam that she would not wait around for him to decide who to be with. She's not going to do this again. She turns around then, and they change to fashion, and she changes into like a blue lacy sort of satin big bathing suit, and comes out, and Liam sees it and he loves it. But at that time, Ali walks in, and she is upset. She orders Steffi to take her hands off of Liam, and then Steffi and Ali argue about who Liam belongs with, and Ali's clearly not happy about this, and Steffi's just shaking her head because she's been on this roller coaster with Ali, when they did this thing with Hope. So looks like we're starting this all over again. So that's all she wrote for this episode. I want you to keep following us on social media, and it's Paul, it's B&B Talk. Keep you posted on tomorrow's episode.